All right, I want to say good afternoon to everybody. I sincerely appreciate everybody joining us today, and this class is going to be very, very exciting. I remember last week we went through different, what do I call it now? Different assessments. We went through different assessment, the love language assessment, the belief system assessment. We also talk about the personality assessment, right? And then we were able to get the result. And I told us that in one of the classes, I'm going to be explaining each of the result. Each of us had our result, and it was very clear to some of us. Some people with the personality, we know our personality, we know the blends of our personality. Some of us, we also got to know about our love language, and it became clearer to know much about our own love language. Today, I want to actually talk about winning in marriage. Winning in marriage. Yes, the governor have gone through this class before, but I just feel like I should take this class so that we can also get some input from some of us just to throw more light to this discussion. And I want all ears, all eyes to be on deck. Please, you have your writing materials, like I told us, get it out, and we're going to talk about it. So now, when we talk about winning in marriage, we are actually saying it's not about competition. Yeah, we are not meant to compete with one another. We are actually meant to complete one another. I remember one of the classes I drew concentric circle. I drew concentric circle, right? And it said the inner circle is for love language. This middle circle, three circles like that. The middle one is for temperament, understand your temperament, and the outer circle actually talks about your personality. I mean, talk about your gender, understanding each other's gender. The characteristics of the gender is what we're actually talking about. So, with this understanding, I need to let us understand the fact that in an ideal situation, you will agree with me that men are different, women are different. In today's psychology and the way things are being defined, there are a lot of school of thought that negate it because of the introduction of some abnormality. I call it abnormality, and I apologize for that, because some people says I determine the kind of gender that I want to be called. Don't say I'm a male. Don't say I'm a woman. I want to determine the the gender that I want to focus on. Anyway, that is not my area of focus. But in an ideal situation, it is about a man and a woman. It is about a man and a woman. So when we talk about a man and a woman, we're actually saying that look, there are a lot of unique differences between a man and a woman. We have different attributes, different strengths, different weaknesses, and all that. Now, let me quickly mention this briefly. When we talk about this, we say the man and the woman. We are saying that in this group of things, there is a characteristics of women generally and characteristics of a man general men generally, and then that is the outer circle general. This is how you assess a woman. Sometimes if you see a man driving and you try to, if you see a woman driving, for example, and you try to overtake and you see something, sometimes by the time you get close to the car and you check and you discover that it's a woman, some of us, most especially in the part of the world, um, we use this statement that, oh, is a woman, and then we excuse some of the ways she drives. Not why? Because we have some attributes that is ascribed to a man, and we have some attributes that is ascribed to a woman. You will agree with me. Yes. Some now that is the generic understanding, and what I use the word generally accepted. This is how they believe women are behave, men behaves. Yeah, that is the general one. So when we talk about the personality, actually, we are actually talking about the group of people, group of people that behave in this particular way, group of people that behave in this particular way. So you see people in this attribute, they will say, oh, these people are, maybe they are choleric, and choleric, we use other words for it. Some people use color to describe choleric. Some people use animal to describe different temperament, you know. So I'm still going to talk about it. And so, but the general accepted ones is the introvert, extrovert, and the choleric, sanguine, and all that. So there are people that behave with that attribute. I would say it is because they are choleric. That's why they are behaving that way. So we just feel, oh, let's just accept them that way, right? So that is that. And then we have the inner one, that is the inner circle, which talks more about your love language, how you want to feel love. And people have different categories in that way. People are grouped in that way. Anyway, so talking about this now, let us agree here, based on the ideal situation, that men are different, women are different, right? Also, with that agreement, it helps us to know, okay, how will I be able to deal with a man and with a woman? Sometimes when issue happen in your marriage, you might think that it is your wife that is the problem, or you might even think that it is your husband that is the problem, not knowing that it's not your wife, it's not your problem. It is the women in that group that behaves that way, not just your wife. It's the men that behave that way, not just your husband. So if we understand that, it keeps you at base, it makes you feel relaxed in your dealings. And when it comes to your husband, your wife, with that understanding, it's like puts you at rest that, oh, this is how men think. For example, if I ask us here that what are the attributes of a man, I know some of us can say so many things about the attribute of a man. You know, somebody will say men are logical, right? Or maybe I should make it interactive a bit. If I ask us here in this session, maybe one or two of us can say, what do you think are the attributes of a man? Can somebody say something? Yeah. So you can unmute yourself and tell us what are the attributes. Can you just submit yourself and just mention one or two attributes of a man or attribute of a woman? Can we do that quickly? Let's start with the man. Yes, Chooks, can you say something? Hello, can you hear me, everybody? All right, good. So what are the attributes of a man? Hmm, strong. All right. Okay. Gabriela, you want to assist? When you say this one is a man, what do you mean? Okay, okay, okay. Any other person? Adeoye, Adeoye, you are the only other person here, because every other person here. Okay, it seems some of us are still okay. So yeah, can you mention all some of the attributes of a man? If you say this one, what are the things that display that you say this person is a man? Can you say some? Wow, thank you very much. Men, generally the same men are logical. Those are some of the attributes. Men are logical, and then women are emotional. Men are logical. So if you agree with me that when we want to see that is a man, when a man is going through issues, he do a lot of thinking. But when a woman is going through issues, sometimes you see she do a lot of talking. Sometimes women talk more than a man. So when you see a man talking, they will say, why are you talking like a woman? You know, this attribute is known more with the woman than with the man, right? So, those are the things I'm talking about. And maybe I should just throw more light to it now. Women has period, and I think I'll mention it now. Women go through their own period, and most especially ovular changes, hormonal changes, as it were. So when there is an hormone, when the hormone has changed, it comes with different attributes. It comes with different characteristics. It comes with different behavioral pattern. So if you understand that, it will help you a great deal in dealing actually with your wife. Now, what do I mean by that? We have two major um, hormonal period of a woman, the menstrual period and the ovulation. Those are the two major ones. And the truth about this, there are two extreme apart. Some people say it's 2 weeks apart, some people say it's 3 weeks apart. It just depends on how you calculate your cycle. Anyway, so they are apart. So you go through your ovulation period, we go through your menstrual period. Now each of this period has their own behavioral pattern. So when you say to a woman, a man say to a woman, I love you, the response you are going to get when she's going through ovulation period will be different from the response you might get when she's going through a menstrual period. When the woman is going through a menstrual period, guys need to understand sometimes that they are not emotionally stable. And please take note of that. And maybe I should just throw a bit light to that. Sometimes I say this jokingly. Like I said, I'm not using it to disrespect ladies. I respect you and I love you with all of my heart. I think you know that. Yeah, I don't need to say much about that. Now, when I use the word, the most unstable people on the surface of the earth are the women. Like I said, I'm not using it to disrespect you. I'm just saying this for clarity's sake. Why do I use the word unstable? I'm saying this because of those hormonal changes affect their behavioral pattern. I said that woman, for example, I picked the word menstrual period. When a woman is going through menstrual period, take note of this. It takes them 3 to 5 days to go through their menstrual period. Now it takes them about 3 days to prepare for the menstrual period, and it takes them another 2 days to say that, oh, thank God. So out of the 30 days or 28 days that we have, that 10 days that I just calculated, their behavioral pattern may not be normal. At that point, they are not themselves. So you see them, they are edgy, they are reactive, they are suspicious, they are not very, very friendly, as it were, in quote. So just take note of that. Now, the same thing when it comes to their ovulation period also. It takes 2 to 3 days to go through the ovulation period. It takes 2 days to prepare and all that. This, when we talk about sex in marriage, I'm going to be explaining what happens and the formation of those ovulation period during the class so that guys will understand. So you can see I've calculated another 8 days that they are not actually normal. Sorry to use the word normal. I'm just saying that they are not themselves. It's being controlled. And during the ovulation period, that's when they begin to behave like a cat. You see them trying to be too loving and all that. But when they are going through ovulation period, during their menstrual period, they want to stay aloof. Now, sometimes some people want to stay aloof. Some people want to be cuddled. But it all depends on the the person that is involved. Now, why I'm saying all these things is that understanding this will help you to know how you will react with your partner. Earlier I mentioned something that when you say to your wife, I love you, you know, when she's going to ovulation period, I mean, through ovulation period, yeah, you will get a very favorable response. I love you too. In fact, I missed you and all that. But when she's going through a menstrual period, sometimes you ask you, what have you done? Why is it love that I want to eat? And you'll be wondering, should I say I love you and all that? You know, I don't mean any harm. But your interpretation based on what she's going through might give you a different response. So that period also matters. Now, just like a woman going through, she's pregnant also, because of those changes, it affects her behavior. All these things are some of the things I just want us to understand about the woman. So, with that understanding, it helps you to know that you need to treat your wife with all understanding. With all understanding. That is even the way the Bible puts it. Deal with your wife with all understanding. In other words, it requires one of the tools a man needs in dealing with the wife is understanding. One of the major tools a woman needs to deal with his husband is wisdom. Therefore, I would say get wisdom. In all you're getting, get understanding. Why? Because you cannot use wisdom to deal with your wife, in quote. You need wisdom, but you cannot match up with her when you're using wisdom. She will beat you. She has what we call intuition. There's something that just telling her this thing is not jelly, it's not jelly. Women are wired that way. Intuition, guys is logic. So, but you need to understand. We need understanding in dealing with your wife. Most of the time when your partner is angry with you, just take note of it. Just ask, check in within your mind, is she going through a period? Because sometimes it lies within that period. When she's going through that period, note that you have to either you pet her, you be caring, or you just not get angry easily. I've counseled so many people in this regard, and I've discovered that with this understanding that women, when they are going through this major period, they behave somehow, they change their approach, which help them to manage their conflict. But if you don't, how will I put it? If you don't take note of this part, you feel that your wife is very wicked. Your wife is this, your wife is that. What I'm doing now is I'm trying to lay a foundation, right? A foundation on this discussion on winning in marriage. After which, I'm going to go straight to the part which I want us to talk, and we're going to discuss it. So I'm just giving us this foundational knowledge of the way, the wiring of a man and the wiring of the woman, right? So um, now, with this knowledge, you need to be a bit um, passionate and understanding when you are dealing with your wife, because sometimes she needs you. Sometimes she needs you, but she doesn't know that she needs you. So it will be very confusing. Sometimes she's going through a menstrual period and she's shouting at you, "Get away! You don't love me." That is when she will now be questioning your love for her. At that point, that's not the time for you to run away, because sometimes the woman did not. They just want you to reaffirm that they actually love you. That is one of the things about it. Now, let me permit me to just mention also something about the woman, which I'm going to mention when I'm talking about the women a bit. Now, okay, because of my time. Now, this knowledge will literally help you to know that, look, it is not your wife that is actually the problem. It is the way women are wired when they are going through their period, when they are going through their period. Please take note of that. There's one word that says that men are like wafers, women are like spaghetti. I'll say it again. Men are like wafers, women are like spaghetti. Can we all say that, please? Yes, thank you, Mary. Any other person? Thank you. Any other person? Spaghetti. Thank you. Any other person? Good. Thank you very much. Now, do you know what that means? And I'm going to throw the light to that. Just throw a little light to it. Now, when you say that men are wafers, women are spaghetti, even I think there's materials that speak a lot about it. Now, when you pick a spaghetti or noodles, yeah, you know, the way it is that you pick the string of a strings of a string of noodle, you know, the thread of noodle. You will observe that you use your fork to pick one. Take note, that one has the capacity to pick other ones. Why? Because they are interwoven. Do you get that logic? When you pick one string of noodles, it will pick other ones. Bang, 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 you see it. So when you are eating your Indomie or your noodles and all that, you see that you can pick one and you see everything now. Yeah, that is it. Um, it's saying here that the emotion of the women are interwoven. They might find it a bit difficult to separate emotions. Let me go to the man's own, then I'll explain what I'm trying to say here. Now, when it comes to the man, right, it's like wafers. If you know wafers, those biscuits, those wafers, and all that, you will see that everything is segmented. Yeah, compartmentalized. You see that. So by the time you pick one pound, you can remove this one, eat this one, and still this one still remain the same. You can pick this, and then this is how the men are. Men compartmentalize their emotion. In other words, they put different things into different compartments. When they are angry with you, they stay angry. And then when they leave you and they mix with other things, they forget about this one. They change the emotion to handle this, right? But for a woman, when she's angry at home, the moment she leave the house with anger, the moment you get to the office, she will transfer that anger. You're wondering, what did I do? Get out of my face, Joe. You are not the one that, but because the emotion, if she's not happy with you, she's not happy with the people, everybody around. A woman will find it difficult, yeah, to say that I want to put this thing aside. And no, if she's not happy with herself, she will not be happy with every other thing. But a man, a man can, if a man is fighting the wife at home, and the moment the man leaves the house, yeah, leave the house and goes to the office, he has forgotten about what is happening in the house. Now begin to force the office. The only time he will remember what is happening in the house is when he's going back to the house. Yeah, yeah, pa, I didn't call my wife. Oh, I remember I'm fighting. So now change the posture. That's what I'm talking about. That is how men are wired, women are wired. Now, women are emotional. They are full of emotion. So when you see a woman that is trying to put things into different compartment, they will always say that it's behaving like a man. That is where you hear the word the alpha women. We have a lot of them now and all that. But I'm just saying that naturally we have some characteristics that are. Please take note of that. I said that women has period. Please, men too have their own period. Though. Men has their own period, yo. Am I right, guys? Yes. Only one major period is attached to a man. One. Somebody say man. One. Only one. The major period of a man is when a man is short of fund. In fact, not just short of fund. The emotion of a man is most times tied to money, in quote. Most times, ties with tied to money. Somebody say, what about prestige? What about fulfillment? Most of the time, it's still tied to money. Because most times when a man does not have money, it affects his morale, it affects his emotion. A woman will go to the man and say, or the wife go to the husband and says, my ear is due. The only thing the man is hearing is not the ear that is due, is money. So, and when a man does not have money, women need to be very careful how they talk to them, because most of the time some men attach their emotion to the money. That is because I don't have money, that is why you are talking to me like that. It's because I don't have money, that is why you don't respect me. Not knowing that, guys, note this. Oh, you like it or yes, the first person, please take note. Oh, the firstborn in the family, the firstborn in the family, when you are married, you are the firstborn. So a woman, no matter how your age is, you are our firstborn. And I know somebody want to react. No, I'm not the firstborn, I'm the husband. I'm like, listen, forget it. You are not, don't stop playing as if you are the husband. Yes, we agree that you are the husband, but the truth there is this. If you say you are not the firstborn, then stop drinking breast. Stop sucking the breast. The breast is meant for who? It's meant for baby, Abby. Thank you, Jare. The breast is actually meant for, but you will not be sucking breast. So what are we saying? You're actually the baby. So you have money or you don't have money, women will talk to you. Listen, your wife will talk to you. Sometimes if you want to say, when you are driving, just watch it. He will still talk to you as if you don't have eyes. I don't know if you have witnessed it. Yeah, you are driving and you say, whoa, watch your check your front. Oh, wait, check it. Oh, as if you cannot see. You know, they are natural, behaving like a mother in all the ways. So we're saying this, either you have money, you don't have money, they have the tendency to still talk to you. But women, please apply wisdom, especially when a man does not have money, because that alone reflects, it affects the mood, it affects all this. So I'm just quickly laying this foundation to us here, that please understand that men are different, women are different. Men are wired differently, women are wired differently. With this understanding, it will help you to know how you manage your partner, how you manage your wife, how you know how to deal with one another. This one is very, very important. Now, with that understanding, it helps you to know the kind of emotional deposit that you make towards one another. Do you understand that? All right, that is what I just said now is the foundation, right?